What do you think of your draft choices after seeing them?
Yeah, look, I mean, obviously it's really early in the process, and we had probably half of them that participated and half of them that weren't able to participate due to injury, which I don't expect any of those to be anything that's going to keep anybody out long term. But I thought overall I was pleased with what I saw. I think we drafted some guys that I feel like fit what we want to be and being smart, tough, competitive type of guys. And so I thought the one thing that stood out to me, at least initially, was the intelligence level of the players, and I think that's huge in terms of helping us be able to win.
You've been around, you've been around Kubiak before, but now that you've gotten kind of a close-up view, is that kind of solidified why you did what you did?
Yeah, look, I think what we've done offensively and the way that the staff has gelled together, I think has been really good. I think the feedback I've gotten from some of the players has been outstanding in terms of just, the organization, the attention to detail, all the work ethic that's really gone into, getting everything ready for the installations. And yet, look, it really comes down to, how our players can soak up the information and how they can take that information and go ahead and utilize it out on the football field.
Anything jump out with the schedule that was just released? Your schedule?
No, look, I mean, I see all these things about the schedule and strength of schedule and all these things, and it's like, we're talking about minor percentage points, and nobody really knows who anybody is until we start playing games this year. So I don't really take a lot, out of it. I mean, there's a couple of cold weather games, at the end of the season that I think stand out. I think it's week 5 is the first time that we play, on a grass field. And again, I think we're playing, a pretty good number of, indoor games. So, but yeah, I think, look, the start of the season is going to be, big for us. I mean, it's a tough stretch to start the season out.
If you did I know you've done a deep dive on last year, but you were so close in a lot of those games and couldn't get over the hump. Was there anything that, when you looked at all of that you identified that, hey, we got to do this better?
Yeah, no, I don't think there was one particular thing that stood out that said, okay, this is what we have to do better, other than, look, I think we've got to be able to make plays and clutch moments in the game. And so I think our ability to play in the fourth quarter and our ability to finish in the fourth quarter is going to be critical.
What do you like about that? Lucas Patrick bringing?
Well, look, there was a conversation that was had with Brian Brzee, and he once we got him, that was like, this guy was, probably one of the toughest guys that he had to go against, and that's what we saw on tape. What we saw on tape was a highly competitive, tough, going to fight you all the way through the whistle type of player, and so that's what really, kind of got us interested in him. He's smart, which I think is important, particularly at that position.
That's conversations you have in those end of season wrap up meetings all the time to try to identify other players, get intel around?
I think that probably happens throughout the process. I don't know that it happens right at the end of the seasons. Probably, as you're getting into free agency, you'll have those conversations along the way, and they're not all like these planned conversations. Things come up like that.
That's interesting.
Yeah, what does it say about Brzee that you value his opinion like that just after 1 year?
Well, let's be perfectly clear about this. The decision was made before Brian gave his recommendation, but look, it is one of those things that when you bring a guy in and your players respect the move. I think that's positive.
Sticking with the defensive line, Chase Young, any updates on him? How's it been since the procedure with him?
Look, things are going well right now. Look, I don't expect to see him out there on the practice field, working anytime soon. He's been able to participate in some of the walkthrough stuff that we've had. I think that'll be the mode that he's going to be in for the majority of this time of year, and then we'll see where we're at when training camp comes around.
What do you anticipate from attendance overall for OTAs? So
What do I expect?
Yeah.
Well, I would expect it to be pretty good. I don't expect that we'll have 100% attendance, but I would expect that we'd have a majority of our players be there.
And has there been any further conversation with Marshon Lattimore?
I had a conversation with him probably 2 or 3 weeks ago. I thought it was a positive conversation. And so, we're moving forward. All right? Thanks, guys.
Should we expect excellence out here like
No.